sold my Honda, and I was able to actually buy 18 Bitcoins at the price of $800 each. In December 18, 2017, Bitcoin had gone from $800 all the way to almost $20,000. My crypto wallet was at almost $500,000. So I went from literally the joke to, hey, this guy was right.
When you say building technology, what are they building? What is it? What's behind the secret here? You know,
it takes the power away from one person and it gives it to the blockchain. As soon as I come out of my car, a white Jeep blocked me, and then out of the white Jeep, I think it was like a guy wearing a ski mask, with a mini, basically pointing at me. He wanted my watch.
It's Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.
All right, welcome back. We are here inside of Studio B in downtown San Jose, heart of Silicon Valley. It is Mauricio Mejia live. And today, I'm super, super excited. I got not only a good friend of mine, super entrepreneur. We're going to call him a super entrepreneur because we're going to go dive deep into the cryptocurrency world and a bunch of other business opportunities that we've been talking about. We've known each other during the pandemic is actually when we met, 2020. So now it's been 5 years, man, that we've known each other. I want to welcome to the show my boy, good friend, and super entrepreneur, Ricky Cucalon. Hey, welcome. Right. Thank you, bro, for being here. Gracias por llegar. And I know you're super busy traveling around the world. Every time I see your post, you're somewhere around the world. I'm like, what's happening? So thank you for making the time, man.
Right, thank you so much, Mauricio. You know, I miss you, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. And then, you know, every time I see you, you look better.
Oh, thank you,
you gotta,
man.
You gotta, in this podcast, I hope that you tell us what's the secret.
No, you know you got to put in the work. That's the secret. Okay. You got to do the work, man. Everyone talks about, you know, wanting to do things in life, but when they don't do the work, they get no results. And you know that very well.
Most definitely, bro. Yeah, most definitely.
As you know, I mean, we've been doing the Mauricio Mejia live show for some time now, and man, it's unbelievable how much support and how many subscribers we've gotten. We've broke the 40,000 mark already, and the goal is to be at the 100,000 before the summer, which I think we can get there, right? We just got to keep providing good content and bring in people that talk about what's real and what's really happening in our current times. And at the same time, show them and share with them the stories and the journeys that we have. And you have an amazing story that you've shared that I've heard many times. And I think that it's time that the world on our platform here gets to hear your story, because at the end of the day, man, from where you started to where you're at and where you're going, I mean, it's limitless. So that's where we want to start, man. Give us the background of, you know, born and raised and the beginning of your journey, man. And again, there's no holding back.
No holding back.
No holding back, baby. No holding back. No holding back.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and at the end of the day, thank you so much for having me out here, Mauricio. I'm witness. You know, I've seen the idea that you had, you know, years ago. You were telling me, hey, I want to start a podcast. And it's crazy to see how the process, you know, you guys already broke the 40,000 subscribers, which is huge.
Yeah.
And you guys...
And you can't buy those.
No,
you can't buy them. You can't just, you have to organically grow.
Yeah. And growing in YouTube is one of the hardest platforms to grow. You know, Instagram is easier, TikTok is easier, but I feel like YouTube is basically one of the hardest ones.
Yeah, where you're building real content here. I mean, you're investing real time.
Yep.
And again, it takes a team. As you can see, you know, we got a whole crew back there, and you know, it's not easy. And this is just the beginning of it. So, but it comes with a lot. So
perfect.
Anyhow, man. So yeah, share. You know, talk to us about your story, man. Because like I said, I don't want to be a spoiler, but You're born and raised?
Yeah, most definitely. So I was born and raised in Lima, Peru.
Okay.
So basically, you know,
I love Peru, by the way.
I saw you there.
Yeah,
next
time I love Peru. Yes.
You gotta let me know next time so we can go together.
Supposedly I'm going in March.
Okay,
so we'll see.
We're going
in March. All right, we're going to March.
Okay, well, yeah, you know, basically, I grew up in a family, you know, where my dad was a police officer. My mom, she was a homestay mom. Mm-hmm. And basically, you know, like very humble beginnings. I remember when I was a kid, my parents used to, you know, it was a good environment, but at the same time, when I was a kid, I couldn't sleep.
Any brothers and sisters?
I got two sisters,
okay.
2 younger sisters.
Got it.
But
so you're a big brother.
Yeah, most definitely. Going back to, you know, the child memories that I had, you know, I remember I had a good childhood. It, you know, was full of love and family values. But one of the things that happened to me when I was a little kid, I couldn't sleep. And the reason why I couldn't sleep was because, my dad, he would go to work. And every time he would come home from work, my mom and my dad used to argue a lot. Now, the argument will be, it wouldn't be bad things, but it will be always the same thing, which was the lack of money.
That's something that's it's a very common thing.
Yeah.
Number one thing of destruction of marriages and relationships, finances.
Most definitely. And then, my dad worked, but, in Peru, working as a police officer, you're not really making much.
Right.
And my mom and my dad will basically, argue about how we're going to pay the bills, how we're going to pay, rent, how we're going to pay the electricity bills. And when I was a kid, I felt like, man, I got to do something about it, right? So what I used to do, I remember, I was like 10 years old. I would tell my mom that I'll go play soccer. I'll be like, I'm going to go play soccer in the streets with my friends, right? But what I would do is like, I'll grab a bucket, fill it up with water, get some soap, get some rags. And what I would do is like, I'll just go wash cars in the streets.
Ooh, man.
And when
we have a common story then.
Yeah,
I was washing cars in my neighborhood when I started my journey as an entrepreneur.
And that's, basically and going back, basically when you're 10 years old and the way the world is now, you see the kids now, they're playing video games and everything. The fact that you get to do something like that, that's a major decision when you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
you're a kid, you're a baby.
Exactly.
You're little, you're a kid.
But you're taking action. So
that's
basically
right.
That's what I did, and then I'll just go wash cars. I wouldn't tell my parents, right? But I remember my mom, she used to have a purse and she used to have a white table, and she used to the white table was in the kitchen, right? And what I would do is after I'll come home, from work or from playing,
right.
I'll put all my money, and I will just put it in the purse.
Oh, man.
And I remember one time, I saw my mom with
she
my
said,
aunts.
God is blessing us.
No, yeah. My mom and my aunts, they were having a conversation. And my mom was telling my aunts, I think, the Virgencita I got in the house. Because, there's money, And that wasn't the Virgencita. Well, maybe it was, through me.
Through you.
Through you. But that's my little hope. What happened was, I remember one day I went to do my usual thing, and basically a nice car pulled up. I asked the guy, I was like, sir, can I just wash your car? He's like, he nodded at me. He's like, yes. And then from the passenger side, a man came out, right? And I looked up, and it was my dad.
Oh, wow.
I know, it was my dad. And I'm not going to lie, Mauricio, but that was the day that I got the baddest ass whoop ever.
Oh, wow.
My dad hit me really hard. I think he did it because, he's a police officer. He didn't want me to be, a kid that works in the streets, because basically, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but,
pride.
Probably pride. But, there's a saying, right? When you have a lot of pride and ego, your finances are very low.
Woo!
And basically,
that's a nugget right there.
Maybe what it was. But long story short, Mauricio, I was already, I took the decision that I always, that there was no going back. So basically what I did, the following day, I went back, but this time I went to a different block.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my story. Since I got started, that's how I first became an entrepreneur, and then the rest is basically it was caused by that,
Yeah. Well, that was the opener.
Exactly.
It's what started with me too. Growing up in LA, growing up with a single mom and younger sister, and just tired of hearing that no, I can't buy you this, I can't, because all we could afford was the necessities, right? Which is a roof over our head and food at the table. But growing up as a kid, kids are brutal, man. They're brutal. They're bullies.
Right.
If you're not wearing the cool shoes, the cool clothes, blah blah blah. So I just got, I wanted a pair of Air Jordans, and I couldn't get it because my mom couldn't. It's not that she couldn't. It's just that wasn't the priority.
Yeah.
So I remember that I said enough was enough. I made a decision. Right. And once we make that decision and you take that leap, there's no going back.
Yeah.
And then I just that was the beginning of my journey as an entrepreneur, and then again the rest is just the journey that I've gone, and you've experienced massive success in the things that you've done, man.
Most definitely. I feel like at the end of the day, success is not a goal. I feel like it's a journey. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, like we're gonna be successful at what we do because we put in the work.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, part of being successful is failing.
Oof. Yes.
In my journey, like,
Yes.
you know, like I don't determine my success by the wins, but I determine my success by the things that I get to, you know, overcome. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's like life is gonna hit you hard, and you know that, Mauricio. Life is gonna smack you around. You're gonna think that you're
gonna
at top. You think you're at the top because, you know, it happened to me. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it happened to you. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But sometimes, you know, when you first hit it big, you think that you're indestructible. You know, there's no stopping you. But then life is gonna take care of you, and then that's when you start realizing that you know, whatever you got is a blessing. But at the same time, you can never get that comfortable. You always got to put in the work.
You know, it reminded me of one of my first real true falls. Back in 2004, you know, I was at the top of my game. I opened up my own ultra lounge. I was the shit. I thought I was the shit, and nothing. And I was, you know, I was unstoppable, right? And I rode that train for a very long time. And 5 years later, 2009, you know, if it wasn't for the economy in 2008 that took a dive, I would have been at a whole different level. But I made my first million. I've shared this with you. I made my first million at 25, multimillionaire at 28. Bought my first Ferrari at 28, 360 Spider. I thought I was the shit. You know, I living that lifestyle of just, you know, like it was never going to end. And again, you know, and I became so fucking cocky, so arrogant, because again, my ego was driving myself so hard that I remember to this day, like it happened yesterday. I said, I looked up at God and I said, God, you can take it all away from me tomorrow and I'll get it back tomorrow. I mean, you can take it away from me today and I'll get it all back tomorrow. Literally, the universe brought me to my knees, to the ground. And that was the inspiration of my book, Smoke and Mirrors. Yeah. Because I talked about that point of where I thought all I knew was success from 15 to 25. That's 10 years of success, 28, 30 till 2008, I think I was 32. And the world just went.
Right.
The bottom falls out, and if you're not prepared for that and have the experience or the stomach,
right.
Good luck, baby. Good luck.
Mauricio, just to add on that what you're saying, because, you know, at first, when you first have that, the first big loss is the one that hurts the most.
Yes.
Because, you know, you think you're indestructible, you're invincible, right? And then you get hit and you're like, oh, I'm only human, right? But then I love the fact that it's the biggest lesson.
Yes.
Because you learn more about yourself.
Yes.
You become more humble.
Yes.
You become more grateful. And
yes.
also...
Yes to all of that.
The people around you, you realize who's really down for you. You know what I mean?
Amen.
You realize who was just there because...
For the party?
The successful Mauricio versus who was there for really Mauricio.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? And that's what happened to me as well. So
yeah. And I can definitely see... So life gives us opportunities again, gives us chances to repeat to learn, and you know, I want to, you know, they could be considered failures or just part of life. It's just part of the journeys, the peaks and valleys, and you know, what I do know is that because of my work ethic and because of the drive that I have, I was not going to allow myself to stay there too long. Even recently, I've been dealing with shit. I mean, every day we deal with business. Anyone that's an entrepreneur out there that owns a business that or wants to get into the business that doesn't think that business has its ups and downs is crazy. If they're used to the job mindset where they just have a job and they go 9 to 5 and they get a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, however it works. That's cool, by the way. I'm not downplaying. I'm just saying those that want to get into business for themselves that think that it's easy because they only see the highlights out there or hear about the highlights have a rude awakening. Because it comes with a lot of responsibility, and I know that the higher we climb in the numbers and the commas that we add to behind us, the responsibility gets much more difficult and much more serious because you're playing with big dollars, big numbers now.
Right.
And I remember again at a young age, you know, hitting that $1 million mark, multi-million, and then you know losing it all, 2008, 9, and 10, and then being homeless. Couple of years until I was able to regain myself and then come back out, you know, always with the hope of being stronger and better and, you know, wiser but not knowing either, launching 2 companies and then, you know, building $100 million company, building a future $1 billion company and losing them both. Boom. And then you step back and you're like, fuck, damn, life. And then you think about, okay, you've tasted it, you've seen it,
Yeah.
you felt it,
Yeah.
and now you want to get back there. So the experience.
Right.
So going to like this again, the story that you've shared there. I mean, I want to get into it because, man, my brother, I remember in 2014 when I started my first company with a business partner. We were just hearing the cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Cryptocurrency started popping up. It was a little buzzword. People were like, "Yo, you're crazy. Nobody's gonna ever jump into digital currencies." I remember we bought. I want to say that it was 100. We had bought 100 bitcoins. We owned 100 bitcoins, and those were at the time. I think when we were buying them for like $1,500 to $2,000 per coin, and we owned 100 of those. And I remember that was 2014, so 2014 to 2019. Right. Dude, we hit one of those home runs that I'm like, dude, we got Bitcoin tied up, we got a bunch of crypto, other coins, blockchain. I mean, all of that stuff was coming in line for us, along with all of our real estate developments, all of our business was growing. And then one day to find out that my business partner said, "Hey, by the way, I sold our Bitcoins," and I'm like, "What do you mean you sold our? What do you mean where's my cut?"
Right.
And then to me, it was like, you know what? Fuck that world, that universe. I never knew anything about it, but whatever. And then we come across to each other. We meet during the pandemic, and boom, man, the story you shared on how you got into that world, man, that universe.
So long story short, basically, from having the mindset of becoming an entrepreneur at 10 years old, my family and I, everybody, my parents and my sisters, we came to the U.S. And basically, when we came to the U.S. when I was 11, right? Mm-hmm. And basically, it was like a whole new world to me. Like everything was a whole new language. Everything was new for us, right? And in my head, I was like, I want to become successful still, right? What do I do? And my parents told me, I asked my dad, what do I do? I asked my mom, how do I become successful? And they told me, you have to go to school, you have to get a degree.
Not true.
And for the people who are going to school, we're not going to shame you, nothing. If you're going to school, props to you, that's what you want to do. But basically, for me, that was the way for me to become successful. And that's why I went to school. I went to SS State. Yeah. My parents told me, you could either be a doctor or an engineer. And I was like, a doctor, every time I see blood, I get kind of like, I don't like blood. So I'll just become an engineer. I'm good with math. And basically, that's what I did. I became a civil engineer. I graduated back in 2016 class of 2016.
Man.
But here's the thing, right? Once I graduated as a civil engineer, I tried getting into the field.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it.
You tried to get a job?
Yeah, I did. No shame. No shame. I'm not. But I did. I tried to get a job, and then the job site hours. Basically, you got to be there 4 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. The way they treat you others differently, and I just didn't like it. I wasn't feeling it. So basically, what I did, plus I wasn't really making money because when you first get started, you don't really make that much.
Right.
And basically, what I was doing, I was putting a little.
You're
work.
talking about $75,000-$80,000 maybe a year?
Less. We're talking about less.
Oh wow!
It was like an internship, So it was basically, it wasn't really like a real job.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I was putting the hours, I was putting the work. I could barely afford my bills.
Yeah.
And basically, that's when I was like, I have to do something else.
Yes.
So I started looking online to different things. What do I do, right? Yeah. And I remember, we're talking about cryptocurrency, right? Yeah. I remember when I used to work at the Apple store back in 2014, 2013, I remember people talking about Bitcoin. Right? I remember I had my first, memory with Bitcoin was when a customer came into the store and they made a joke, you guys accept Bitcoin. And I asked, what is Bitcoin? And then he tried to explain it to me. And I was like, in my head, I couldn't understand anything. He talked about blockchain, this and that. So I was like, man, maybe it's money for smart people.
Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think, because they say a closed mind is always going to say no.
Oof.
And basically, that was my first interaction with Bitcoin. I say, no, I ignore it. And then back in 2016, when I was desperate looking for different ways to invest and make money, I saw Bitcoin again. I remember that back in 2013, Bitcoin wasn't even $10.
Okay.
Right? And back in 2016, when I saw it again, it was at $800.
Okay.
So in my head, I was like, yo, I got to invest in this thing, right? But I didn't have the money.
Damn,
didn't
I
have the
remember
means.
those days. Yeah.
I didn't have anything, right? I barely couldn't afford my bills. I didn't have anything. But there's two way of people. There's like the people who are going to say, or the person who's going to say, hey, I'm not going to invest because I don't have the money.
Right.
And they just ignore it.
Yeah.
And there's a person who's going to say, because I don't have the money, that's why I got to invest.
That's right.
So I didn't have the money, but I had a Honda that I bought. Ended up selling my Honda.
Yeah.
And, I sold my Honda, and I was able to actually buy 18 Bitcoins at the price of $800 each. I remember when I first bought them, I wanted to share the news with my parents. I told my dad, I bought Bitcoin. My dad, he was like, let's go check the engine.
Uh-huh.
Because my dad thought that Bitcoin was a car.
Okay.
I was like, no. So I tried to tell him, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and he's like, where is it? And I says, my wallet. Where's your wallet? It's right here in the blockchain. So he was like,
he didn't understand. It's foreign language.
You guys scam. He told me, you guys scam, this and that. Everybody used to make fun of me at family parties. They would tell me, hey, that's the millionaire, the virtual millionaire.
A virtual millionaire.
Back then, it was an insult. Today, it's a flex. Somebody call you a virtual millionaire. Hey, thank you.
I love it.
Back then was an insult. But
I haven't got that title yet, but I'm definitely going to work on that one.
Long story short, remember, basically 2016 and 2017, December 19. I remember.
Why do you remember the date?
Because it's my birthday, guys.
Oh shit! Here we go.
So you guys, the viewers, December 19. You already put it in your calendar.
So there you go.
Any type of presents. I'll put my crypto wallet. No, I'm just kidding. No. So long story short, I remember that I checked my crypto wallet, and I saw my balance. My first investment was $20,000.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's how much I sold my car for. In December 18, 2017, Bitcoin had gone from $800 all the way to almost $20,000. My crypto wallet was almost $500,000. So I went from literally the joke to, hey, this guy was right. Now, here's the thing. When I saw that, basically, I had a job still. I had to pay bills and everything, right?
Right.
I had to go to work that day. You know what I did?
I hope you quit.
and that's the power. That's the power. That's the power of working, because you and I know, Mauricio, that we're not quitters.
Right.
We never quit.
That's right.
That day, we fired. I fired my boss.
You fired. That's right.
So, basically that's what happened. That's how I got into cryptocurrency. And it's been a journey that I love, because, it's been ups and downs. There's a lot of people that only want to get into cryptocurrency when the market is up, when Bitcoin is going to new highs, right? And they're excited. And then whenever it goes down, they get discouraged. They say it's a scam. But at the end of the day, guys, there's a logic behind whole cryptocurrency experience.
That's right.
And that's why, you guys got to get educated before you invest.
Yeah.
A lot of people just invest based on FOMO.
Yeah.
They just hear somebody telling them, hey, buy this coin, buy this other coin.
It's good that you're pointing that out, because those are the facts. I mean, for me, I've had my Bitcoins for some time, and all my other cryptocurrencies. And for me, it's I just left it there. Whatever I started with, I leave it there. And I've seen that sucker flex, and I've seen it sometimes, and I've seen it go back down to where I just started.
Right.
But I don't touch it. And every once in a while, I'll add more. I'll buy some, like XRP. When you told me XRP, I've jumped all over that one. It jumped. I was like, damn. All right. So, again, it's good to point out that people they jump on the bandwagon,
right?
And then you'll see that's partly why the market also takes the crashes that it does, because they spike up everyone is buying, and then all of a sudden everyone stops, and then it drops,
There's like winners and losers, right?
That's right.
Like everything in life. And I'll say the winners are the people who are patient.
That's right.
And are here for the long term, like you and I.
Yeah.
And the losers are the ones that get impatient and they buy high and sell low. So, but at the end of the day, that's everything in life.
Instead of buying low and selling high.
Yeah, but that's everything in life. You know, everything. Like I had my mom the other day. Like I remember I basically got my mom into Shiba, and then Shiba it went up, but then went down, and then when it went down, my mom she was
panicked.
calling me, hey, why you made me invest my money and that thing is crashing, this and that. I told my mom, relax, just give it a few months, a few years. And then that thing went back up, and then she's like, she gets
happy.
it now. Yeah, most definitely. But that's how it is. When it comes to the crypto game, you have to have a lot of patience. And also, you got to do your own research.
Right.
But here's the thing, when it comes to shitcoins, and I'll say shitcoins, there's like two examples of a shitcoin that basically have become more than a shitcoin. We're talking about Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Because I
bought a bunch of those.
Yeah, and Dogecoin, it was a shitcoin at the beginning. It was a joke. It was a meme still.
Yeah.
But it got a community behind it.
Yeah,
and it's led by Elon Musk. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
I'm just waiting for him to turn that sucker up, dude. If that thing turns to a penny, if it turns to 1 cent,
that thing is gonna grow, Mauricio. That thing is gonna grow.
I have like 300 million, like almost 400 million,
and that's
if that thing turns, I can just imagine if it should turn 10 cents,
right? No, and that's basically, and we're talking about like say for example, like out of the meme coins, right? Doge is like Coke. And Shiba is like Pepsi.
Okay.
So basically, those are like two shit coins that came out, but then the reason why they're still around is because they have a community behind it.
That's right.
Just like anything in life, like say for example, like the 49ers, right? The Raiders, the teams they're big teams because they have a community, they have fans.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the coin is a shit coin. You're not really gonna do any technology with it, but still it has a big following, a big community behind. So
how do you think that those coins can get value? I mean, can it? I mean, what drives it?
I mean, community.
Wow.
Like if you have enough people to actually.
So if Elon Musk said something about Dogecoin, fucking, it would. It would blow up.
And he's been saying it. He's
holding off on us.
Look at the department that he now has an office. It's called Doge.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a huge community behind. And now going back to Trump coin, I knew it was a shit coin. I knew it was going to be a rug pull, basically.
Yeah. A rug pull. I love it.
A lot of people bought at first.
There's even technical words you guys use. Yeah, rug pull. There you go.
So people bought. And then when you texted me, I was like, bro, we're late.
Yeah.
Because, we're late in the game. Because if we would have got him when it first came out, or
when it was like $10,
or the pre-sale, less.
It
was like less than $1. And I'm pretty sure the people who's running with Trump behind his campaign, they had those coins already.
Yeah.
So a lot of his, basically
his people,
allies, people, they had some of those coins. And once they opened up for the public, that thing shot up all the way to like almost $100. And a lot of people that
I think it was like some $17 billion or
the market cap, yes.
Yeah.
And basically, like the people who had it from the beginning, they made a lot of money. But the people who got it when it was like a 30, 40, 50 or $70, they're now losing because that thing went back down. So same thing, Trump did it with him, and then the very next day, Melania coin came out with the same thing, and then went from $10, and then it's like at $1. So basically, those coins, to everybody who's new into the crypto space, always do your own research.
Yeah.
Do your own research, and when it comes to shit coins, you already know. Like a lot of people, like I see Mauricio, I get people every day contacting me, asking me what shitcoin should we invest. I'm like, why do you even want to invest your money in shitcoin?
Yeah.
Why? If you want to get into the cryptocurrency game,
get into real game. Learn, educate.
Educate yourself and know that it's a great space. But at the same time, like if you're looking to become rich quick, guess what? And even if it happens, Mauricio, you already know what happens to those people that become rich.
They lose it with it. They lose it because they don't know how to manage it. Again, I always tell people, we're caretakers. We're stewards of money. We don't own money. Money is not something that we're supposed to hold on to. We're supposed to do transactions with it, and we have to continue to make that. It's like the word currency. What is the root word of currency? Current. Yes. Current means movement. If water got stuck, then it becomes stale, right? Just like currency. We got to keep money flowing at all times. Got to keep investing, reinvesting. Yes, enjoy it along the way. Take care of yourself. Have a good life. Enjoy and give back to community and do things with it. But don't become a hoarder of it because you're never going to grow it.
Right.
You know, so for me, it's and it's interesting that universe, that whole cryptocurrency, and then there's the foreign exchange, forex. You know, that's a whole different world too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I played in that thing for a minute, but
The trading part.
That world, you got to have some serious patience.
Yeah, it's true.
And then it can also become addicting because it feels almost like
Yeah.
you're gambling
It
because
is.
you go highs and lows and you're following that trend. But
Most definitely.
I mean, crypto, I just put it in there, park it, and then
Yep.
and let it roll. What are some of the coins that you think are out there that are something to be looking at? I mean, I know XRP has been getting a lot of attention, and why do you think XRP?
XRP is basically, it's more than just a coin. It's technology. You know, there's like smart contracts. It's basically something that also has a big following behind. And the thing about XRP is basically, think about it, right? The FTC was trying to shut it down. Basically, the FTC, you know, with the last government wasn't the best. They weren't really crypto savvies or educated. They were more against it, and they didn't really understand it. And then I don't know if you saw recently, the FTC just basically lift off whatever you know lawsuit they had against XRP, and that's why the price is going up. But at the end of the day, I believe that XRP is a good project. Also, for me personally, what I like to do is I like to invest in Bitcoin a lot. A lot of people that want to get rich, Bitcoin isn't going to be your best choice because right now the price is like almost 100K. It's like 90.
It's floating between 90 and 105 or something like that.
And it's going to go down basically. And then in the next 3 or 4 years, it's going to go back up. You know, like, and I'll explain in a minute why basically Bitcoin goes up and down every 4 years because there's like a pattern that basically does. Bitcoin is like, if you want to relate it to something more, you know, that you know, right? Let's relate Bitcoin with gold, right? So Bitcoin is like gold. It's like the main cryptocurrency. It's the first one. You know, it doesn't have the latest technology, right? But it's the first one.
Right.
But Bitcoin is basically something that I keep on investing on. I know that is not the only one. It's one of them. For me, I have, you know, a very special place in my heart because it's the one that I hit it hard with.
Yeah.
Then
fucking out of the ballpark on the first try.
Because it's like a baby, Mauricio. Because I've seen Bitcoin from like the beginning when it was like less than $10. Then when I first got in the game, when it was $800.
Yeah.
And I remember back in the day, like Coinbase, they had a thing. It's called Coinbase Pro now, but it used to be called GDAX before.
Okay.
So that's how you can buy, you know, by bulks, less fees, right? And basically, not that many people there wasn't that many ways for you to get Bitcoin back in the day. Now there's a lot of ways. You can even go to Cash App and you can buy Bitcoin right now, right? You don't believe me? Pull out your phone, go to Cash App, and there's an option there for you to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think that there's other
there's different ways.
Different ways of like Venmo. I think allows you to buy
PayPal as well.
Everyone's jumping in on that.
Yeah.
So
another coin that I really like is Ethereum. Ethereum, I like it because with Ethereum, you can actually build technology. Obviously, Ethereum is like the silver, right? Bitcoin is the gold. Ethereum is like the silver. And Ethereum is gonna grow. You know, the more liquidity the market has, the more these other coins are gonna grow. Now, if you think about it, right? Bitcoin went to over 100K, right? So it's like we just had the highest ATH, all-time high for Bitcoin, right? Now, what's gonna happen next? That liquidity is already in the crypto market. That liquidity, when Bitcoin is going down, is going to go to USDT or the stable coins, right? Now, what's going to happen after? Most likely, you're going to see a run for Ethereum. You're going to see a run for Solana, you know, for the coins that are really here for the long term, because you can actually build technology in those blockchains, you know, those coins.
So when they say build technology, right? I mean, again, for the person that doesn't know, right? Like, what is it that they're doing with these? Is it money? Is it, or when you say building technology, what are they building? What is it? What's behind the secret here? You know,
it's the world's moving towards that direction. You know, if you think about it, you know, when it comes to, say, for example, like Web 2.0, right?
Yes.
Web 1.0, Web 2.0, which is, you know, basically, let's give some examples, right? Web 1.0 is basically the first websites that you used to have. You could just go their landing page, right?
Yeah.
And not do
AOL.
much. Yeah.
Netscape.
Then Web 2.0 is like the websites where you can actually Facebook, where you can log in, where you can create a profile, you know, add content, right? And then you have Web 3.0, which is the new
Virtual,
websites
yeah.
where you can actually, you know, add your wallet, connect your cryptocurrency wallet. You use those usually in Chrome,
Right.
And basically, when I say that,
And that's like the meta world now too.
Exactly.
Right? Or
Everything
metaverse.
Everything is going towards that direction, Mauricio. So
and that's crazy when you start thinking
AI,
about that. Yeah.
From the world's moving towards that direction. Now, why do I like cryptocurrency? Because if the world's moving towards that direction, what it also does, it decentralizes everything. Think about this. Everything before was centralized, right? If we're talking about centralization, is basically the banks. The banks are centralized, right? You put your money in the bank, you don't really know who's got your money, where your money's at. The bank can close and they can walk away with your money, right? And
well, you're insured. The FDIC insures you up to $250,000. But if you pop $1 million, it's gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about this decentralization, basically, it takes the power away from one person and it gives it to the blockchain. And the blockchain is like different, people, or if we're talking about persons, right? That they basically confirm transactions.
Yeah.
So it makes everything safer. It makes everything better and faster.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the world is moving towards that direction. There's different projects that are being built when it comes, on the Ethereum network. There's projects in the Solana network. We can talk for hours about it, right? But at the end of the day,
there's thousands, there's hundreds and thousands of coins now.
And that's the thing. That's why I want to put some emphasis on these guys. Don't even take my words for granted. You always got to do your own research.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody tells you, hey, go buy this coin, whatever, you see with the influencers, they tell you, hey, go buy this coin, and it ends up being a scam or a shit coin, whatever. Always you got to the first thing you got to look at before you even get invested with something, you got to look at the white paper. So the white paper is basically what the project is going to do, right?
Okay.
Look at the white paper.
It's a lot of reading, probably.
I know, but you got to make sure.
Well, no, I'm cool. I'm just saying.
If I'm going to invest my money, I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
So basically, do your own research. Also, look who's behind it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's some projects where you don't really know. There's people that have done scams before, and you don't want to get invested with those people.
Let me ask you, FTX. What was the whole downfall in FTX? And FTX, I think they got bamboozled by the arena in Miami.
Yeah,
he
got Tom Brady.
Yeah, he was balling, and they made Miami the capital of cryptocurrency and stuff.
He got one of the sharks.
He got a bunch of people.
He got a bunch of really important people to back him up, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the downfall started when basically, and it was crazy because there was a little, beef between FTX and Binance, right?
Yes.
And basically the CEO of Binance at the time, I think his name is Z something, basically he kind of exposed FTX, right? Because FTX they came out with their own coin, right? They were basically saying, we're, the money that's coming, our coin is growing because we're investing in these projects, this and that, we're profitable, we're liquid, this and that. And this guy basically pointed out, he was like, the guy from Binance pointed out and say, hey, but what's backing up the coin? Where's the transactions? Show proof, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these guys, they couldn't really show proof. And basically that's when investors start panicking.
Yes.
And they start selling,
That's right.
And when they were selling, basically you see a massive drop of the coin.
That's
and
right.
that's when, the shit show started.
Yeah. Well, it's like a stock.
Yeah.
Once you start selling off the stock, all of a sudden, man, the price starts dropping. Everyone is unloading.
Yep.
And it creates an unstable market.
Most definitely. And then they did an investigation on this guy, and basically they were asking, where's the money at? And then he's like, I have a different company that is running it, and we don't know these projects. And basically what happened was this guy was never really, investing the money in
technology or something.
Or the money wasn't even there. You know what I mean? People were putting their money, and basically.
But I've heard that a lot of people got their money back. I mean, now after the fact,
minor investors. But here's the thing: if I put my money in exchange, I'm expecting my money to be there. Mm-hmm. But what this guy was doing, he was basically grabbing the money, investing it in his other companies to back up his coin.
Right.
When that shouldn't happen in the first place, because it's basically you just putting your money there, and you just want to save your money there, right?
Yeah.
And basically, what happened was mismanagement. This guy basically he had his inner circle They were living on an island.
Yeah.
They were doing, drugs. They were just getting high, partying, and basically blowing up the money. And now look at what happened to this guy. He's in jail.
Yeah.
So
for life. For life,
That's
unless he gets a pardon. So
I mean, I don't know. It looks hard, but it's a shitty situation to be in.
Man, that's again that world it's just no different than banking too. Banking is just it's money does things, man. And I tell you, it's always fun to start a business and a project with partners because it's fun creating together.
Right.
But once money gets involved and big lump sums of money get involved, people change, man.
Yeah.
I've done it myself. At a young age, I thought I became invincible because I made my first million. No. I mean, you just got to keep growing with it and adapting and change and staying humble. Because I tell you, man, life, when it kicks you in the nuts, it kicks you in the nuts, man. Right, and you better hope that you have the tenacity, the resilience, the drive to pull yourself back together and get back up and take it to the next level, man.
Most definitely. And you said it best. Money, I'll say, it doesn't only change. I'll say money exposes people. Because at the end of the day,
that's
Mauricio,
a big one right there. That's true.
We know that, if you're somebody that you have the values, you're somebody that your mental programs is basically you're aligned with it. You know what I mean? Like say for example with me, right? I'll never let money control me because I always want to stay true to myself when I have money or if I didn't have money. Because at the end of the day, it's like I know myself. I know what kind of person I am. I know my limits, right?
Yeah.
But there's people who don't really have limits. They will sell their mom. They'll do anything for money. They will backstab friends.
Yeah.
And that's why, I don't know if it happened to you.
They'll destroy relationships. Absolutely.
There's people, and you can see, guys, you don't have to have millions, but you will see how many times have you lent money to a friend and then they'd rather screw you over and basically boycott your relationship with them instead of paying you back.
That's right.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It happens all the time because a lot of people don't really have the values.
That's right.
So for me, it's like I have one rule that, I apply in my life. I don't ever lend money.
Oof.
Because I don't want to ruin relationships.
That's right.
I have friends that have asked me for money. I was like, bro, I'd rather gift you the money.
That's right.
I'll just...
So I totally understand. And I've done that. Hey, let me borrow. I said, you know what, bro? Let me just give it to you. And that way I don't have any attachment to it, right?
Right.
Because I've been in a situation and let's call it the roles were reversed.
Yep.
I remember I asked somebody, I said, hey man, can I borrow $40? I need to fill up this was one of my hard times.
Yep.
And I remember the guy pulls out and he gives me $400. I said, no, bro, I only need $40. He goes, no, man. He goes, you need this more than I do. Here, take it.
That's great.
Cool. I was like, bro, are you sure? I'm like, bro. I mean, this was, a cat that I knew was solid.
Right.
And I was like, I'm cool. But I felt like even when I took it, I felt uncomfortable.
Right.
But I took it because he insisted.
Right.
All right, cool. Put it in my pocket.
That's a friend for life.
Well, so a couple months later, I get hey, dude, when are you going to pay me back that $400?
Okay. There you go.
And I was like, but it caught me off guard.
That's plot twist.
I was like, wait a minute, what happened here? So in my mind, I'm thinking did I misinterpret because I denied it a couple of times, but you insisted, so I took it. The
expectation.
So one of the things that I learned was never to, if I'm going to ask for something, I'm going to ask for something larger so that I know that, hey, it's an actual business transaction.
Yep.
In the world that I'm in, sometimes you have to move 100,000 here, 100,000 there, this, that. You got to, even up to $1 million. I mean, there's times where my payroll is up to $1 million a month.
Right.
And sometimes you need that bridge loan, and that's a bridge loan. It's a transaction. You pay points, you pay interest, and you go to people, friends, or people that that have that capability to do that. And then that's a unique circle of people too, because it's business, never personal.
Right.
When I've had friends that have asked me I'd rather, like I said, just like you said too,
right.
I'd rather just give it to you because I don't want to hold any attachment to it. Because if you disappoint me, which more than likely you're asking for it because you're in a situation more than likely, I probably won't ever see it again.
Mauricio, talking about money, because I'll say money is the most uncomfortable, one of the most uncomfortable topics.
Conversations,
you know, like,
absolutely.
Whenever you talk about money, people get like, start looking away, this and that. But here's the thing, that's how you know who's really down for you.
That's right.
That's one of the reasons how I know. Because, going back to when I was, when I was in high school, one of my best friends until today, this guy I known for like over 20 years. There was times when I was in high school, I was working basically after high school, I was running to the bus stop because I had a job. I was a waiter. And basically I just go and work, because I had to help my family.
Yeah.
And basically there was times I didn't have money to eat or for the bus. And my friend, he will spot me. He will, let me borrow, or he will never say borrow. He will pay for the food. And that's one of the things that I, until today, I keep it close to my heart.
Yeah.
Because basically that's how you know when somebody loves you.
That's right.
When somebody is willing to invest in you.
That's right.
When somebody is willing to pay for your food. I'm not saying go and do it, but I'm just saying that that's how you know the quality of people that you're dealing with.
Right.
And until today, I can go out with my friends and then we argue not about who has to pay, but we argue because we all want to pay.
Right.
And that's what it is. And that's who I surround myself
Those are
with.
great friends to be around.
Yeah, most definitely.
Those are great friends. I mean, I've been in tables where nobody flinches, and that's okay.
Yep.
Because I'm that's why I'm fucking where I'm at.
Right.
But then I've been in tables where again, there's 5 of us and everybody's arguing
when the bill comes.
And it's even gotten to the point where we'll go to an amazing dinner.
Right.
I mean, I've had a good friend of ours, man. One time, I know dinner was probably going to be about $2,500 between everybody.
Right.
And the bill never came, and we asked, and they was like, "Oh no, the bill's been taken care of." We're like, "Who took care of the bill?" And everybody was quiet at the table. It's like, but it got taken care of, and it was like, those are the kind of people that that's like, damn, you really you learn to be humble, you learn to be blessed, you learn to be grateful of the people that you surround yourself, because unfortunately in this world, you're surrounded, or you can attract a lot of takers.
Exactly. And you said it best, because there's 2 types of people in this world. There's givers and takers. And there's more takers than givers. And here's the thing. The reason why I'm here sitting with you, Mauricio, is because, ever since the day we met, we're both givers.
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
always, like, we can go out and eat and buy dinner, and we're arguing because we want to pay.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's why, I keep in my circle, and that I appreciate your friendship.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's why you told me, hey, Ricky, come to the podcast.
Yeah.
And I cancel my other plans to be here.
Yeah.
Because
thank you.
I appreciate you and the people who watches you. You're an amazing person.
Thank you.
You're a giver. But there's a lot of takers that want to take advantage of us.
Yeah.
And that's why you realize, you notice by the little actions.
That's right.
You notice that the people, it's good to give, but sometimes they want to take advantage. And that's when, me personally, when I see that, I just got to separate myself from the takers, because they don't only take money, they take energy. And they take space, man. They take space.
Yeah, I got to tell you, even relationships, man. I just got out of a fucking nasty. Well, in the beginning, it was very lovable.
Okay.
And then it turned very ugly. And then it just became to where if I ever saw this human being again, ever, I would be like, I wouldn't even recognize you. Like a fucking alien to me. You're foreign to me, because I never surrounded myself with that type of people, that garbage. I've always surrounded myself, tried to at least, to limit myself from surrounding myself with people that were just takers, and they were not honest. And at least, at least at this stage in our lives, we need to learn to value relationships and to be forthcoming and to be honest with each other. Because at the end of the day, man, you just never know.
Yeah, and especially
you never know what might happen
when you're in a relationship with somebody who you love, right? Or you're like, you give them that connection, and then like you said it, right? Love blinds you, because you're blind. You're like, you look at that person with the eyes of, I want to help them, I want to take care of them, but then you don't realize the red flags of them taking advantage of you until enough is enough. And it's a great thing that you decided to separate yourself from that situation, because it only gets worse before it gets better. So, and
all my friends at very high levels said, Mauricio, you dodged the bullet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I hate to say that and feel that, because I really embrace this human being, but to think that, like, wow, I ran all those red lights, I ran all the red flags, and And thank God that, that I didn't get deeper into it. It was
Right.
8 months versus 8 years.
No, and at the end of the day, you realize there's a saying, right? You really can tell who the person is when the relationship is done. If it's a if it was a good partner, it's a good girl, you know how they act. They act with they're grateful for the time, they're respectful, and they move on like that, like a respectful person.
Right.
But if they start bashing you, trying, to attack you or basically destroy
Lie.
your character,
Nah, just lie.
then you already know
Yeah.
you wasn't a good person.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Mauricio, that's part of being a human.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. You make mistakes. Imagine if we didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't be human. And I'm pretty sure, you're gonna be in a better place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because
Already
that's making you better and wiser. So.
Life success is not a destination, it's a journey. We've continued our journey and we continue to be successful. We continue to do the things that we love and we want to do. And that's why, life keeps throwing blessings at us.
Most definitely.
Before I forget, it just came to my mind.
Yeah.
I know you love exotic cars.
I do, yeah.
And if I heard you right a while back,
Yeah.
you were able to buy one on cryptocurrency, the whole
Yes,
car. So
yes.
share that story
So-
really quick so we can at least hint on that. You were one of the first guys that bought an actual exotic car
Yes.
with cryptocurrency.
So here's the thing. I remember
we sidetracked on this relationship
Yes.
and all this bullshit. Hey, let's back to the money because I get
I mean, it's good to see the human part because at the end of the day, I feel like money, health, love, everything vibes with your energy.
That's right.
So I feel like you're gonna go through everything in life, but as long as you just keep your energy up,
Yeah.
and you're confident that you're always gonna be good, and you have that confidence, not only you, but I don't know if people believe in God, but I believe in God. I got close to God lately.
Somebody better believe in something, bro.
It doesn't matter.
Even the people that don't believe in
universe-
God believe in something. So it's just
Exactly.
crazy. I tell people, wait, you don't believe in God, but you believe in something.
Yeah.
So okay.
So for me, it's more like I know I'm always gonna be good. I don't stress. Like I don't really
Amen.
worry.
That's right.
I don't stress. I'm confident that everything is gonna be fine. So yeah, talking about the things that don't matter, the exotic cars.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, man, because that was a great story, man.
So yeah, so basically, so going back to my story. So back in 2017, when I became successful with cryptocurrency, that's when I decided to launch.
Can you disclose what does successful mean? What kind of dollar amount does that?
We're talking about like my first $1 million.
Okay, in Bitcoin.
In cryptocurrency, yes.
In the years, let's just, because again, I don't want to disclose too much personal
Yeah.
stuff, but in the amount of years, let's say from 2017 to 2025, how much in total transactions have you done?
It's been multiple millions, but here's the thing. I don't want you to judge me based on the money, because at the end of the day, money can go away, But I want you to judge me based on the learning experiences.
And that's where I really want to go to. Like, it's how much
made money
transaction.
and I lost money.
Oh, I've made 100 million and I've lost 100 million.
Okay.
I built $1 billion company and I lost $1 billion company. I know even small money, right?
Yeah.
All money,
Right.
All money is important. All money counts,
Right.
Because when you don't have it, it's valuable.
It's like a game. I see it like a game, Mauricio.
Yeah.
It's like when you play Super Mario, right? You see the coins?
Yeah.
So basically, for me, it's like, the money amount, you can have it, you can lose it. But at the end of the day, like, that doesn't define me. Neither the cars, neither the luxury things. I feel like the things that make me who I am are my life experiences.
That's
because
right.
We can share this type of things with you guys because we lived them.
Yeah.
We had experienced these things.
I haven't bought a car with Bitcoin yet or with cryptocurrency, but I will.
Going back to the car. So my first, I'm gonna
When my Dogecoin hits 10 cents, bro, I'm buying a fucking Ferrari.
I heard people are buying. You're gonna be able to buy houses. There's
Yeah.
people buying houses. So here's the thing. My first car was a BMW i8 back in 2017 when nobody had them. They were like over $100,000. I remember when I first got it, I didn't buy it with Bitcoin. I bought it with the money that I made. So basically I cashed out. I had the money in my backpack. I had cash, 100,000 cash. I went to the dealership. And basically, when I walked in, I asked for the card. The guy told me, "Yeah, but that's for serious buyers only." So I looked at him. I was like, "All right, cool." I asked somebody else, "Bro, I want to see that car." And then the other person was kind enough, and then they let me open up the car, and I told them I want to buy.
Yeah.
So I bought the car.
Yeah.
Cash.
Good.
So
fuck the other guy for being a dick.
I know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, you know, at the end of the day, it's more like, for me, it's more like, yeah, it was my nice car. I had it. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first had it, like I felt like a rock star.
Yeah.
I wanted to drive it every day, and I went from that car. Then I changed that car for an Audi R8.
Yeah,
that's
I
when I
remember
met
that.
you.
Yeah.
Drop top, which was a nice car, and then the car that I got with crypto was my McLaren.
Yes.
So I got a McLaren.
What color? It was a
Yellow.
Yellow. That's right.
650S McLaren. I went to LA to get it there, so I drove there to get it out there. But here's the thing, because that's basically when I got to my peak. But now we're gonna get into the deep stuff, guys. Get ready, because this thing, you're gonna love this thing. So basically, I got the car. I got a McLaren 650S, my first McLaren. I was excited. You know, I was happy. I felt successful. I bought me a few Rolexes. You know, I felt like I made it. But honestly, guys, I was making the most money there, but I was empty. I was really empty. Like, my physique, I was looking fat. I was buying Gucci, Louis to hide my, my body.
The mask. You're putting on a mask.
Yeah, I was like, oh man,
I've been there.
I rock Gucci, Louis.
I showed you the picture of what I looked like in 2023, bro.
Yeah,
I had to find myself, man.
So it was like rocking designer, going to the Louis store every week. I remember I was making videos of buying necessary shit that I don't even use no more. And long story short, like I was making the most money. I was.
How did it feel? Let's go. I want to at least enjoy when you bought the car with Bitcoin or with cryptocurrency.
It felt great, but it didn't satisfy me. I thought it was gonna satisfy me, but it didn't.
How much is that? What does that McLaren go for?
Now it's like close to $200K.
Okay.
But long story short, I remember, something happened with that car. So basically, and you guys I don't know if you guys saw it, it was all over the news. So one day, after I bought it, like a month later, I was driving in San Bruno at a gas station. I think it was 76 or Valeros. I don't know how it's called now. It's on San Bruno Avenue in El Camino. And I pull up to the gas station, right? And then basically, I come out of my car. As soon as I come out of my car, a white Jeep blocked me. And then out of the white Jeep, I think it was like a guy wearing a ski mask with a mini Uzi, basically pointing at me. He pointed at me and he basically told me, I couldn't even understand him because he was wearing the ski mask.
Yeah.
So I had my wallet, my keys. I gave him my wallet, my keys. He didn't want that. He wanted my watch. So basically, he was pointing at me. Keep in mind, he was pointing at me. Like, I looked at the gun.
Yeah.
It wasn't no regular gun. It was a mini Uzi.
Got it.
Like, all he had to do is go like this, and I would have been gone.
Yeah.
So I complied. I just gave him my watch. He took my watch, and he took my keys. And then they
took the keys of the car.
They took off.
Fuck.
And it was all over the news. It was like the video's there. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to watch it, we'll put it.
Yeah, we'll
put it on your channel so they can watch it.
Yeah. We'll add it to the show. Yeah.
And yeah, Mauricio, like that for me was
the attention that car brought then to you.
It was a life wake up. It was like, honestly, at that point, it was a bad thing. It was it was traumatic.
Strange. It's strange you say that because I felt the same way when I had the Ferrari. It was crazy. I'd come to my car and fucking somebody spit at the window.
Yeah.
Somebody fucking just stupid shit, dude. It's like,
and I feel like before the world wasn't as negative as it is now. There's people that will be willing to kill over material things, but at the end of the day, Mauricio, it was traumatic at that point, to the point where I didn't want to drive the car anymore. I remember that day I had to be at the gas station for like 8 hours because, every tow truck that I was calling, they didn't want to take my car because it was too expensive.
Yeah, you need a special flatbed for that car.
I couldn't even drive it to, I couldn't.
Well, you didn't have the key.
I didn't have the key. So basically, finally, like 8 hours later, a special tow truck came, and then they were able to actually take the car. They took the car to McLaren in Palo Alto.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, every time I kind of like touch or talk about this topic, I get emotional.
Yeah.
Because, it takes me back to where I was when it happened. Because when the guy pointed the gun at me, honestly, Mauricio, I thought it was going to be my last time, When I watched the video for the first time, that could have been my last video.
Damn.
So when it happened, it was very traumatic. To the point that I had to move out of state.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as soon as that happened, it took the car to McLaren Palo Alto, went to my house. I was worried because I was like, the cops were basically, hey, those guys, they know who you are. They're going to follow you, be careful, right?
Yeah, you got paranoid.
Yeah, I got paranoid. For the first time in my life, I've never been paranoid.
Yeah.
And basically, I didn't want to come out of, I wanted to have a gun.
Yeah.
I want to buy a gun. Laws over here, they're making it hard for you to get a gun.
Yeah.
I went to the gun shop. They're like, yeah, it's going to take a month. So basically, long story short, I was like, can't wait no month. Mm-hmm. So I talked to my wife, and basically we made a family decision that we have to move out of state.
Yeah.
And we looked at different options. I looked at Florida, Texas. We chose Arizona because it was the closest one, it's the closest state. And we went to Arizona. They got nice schools. In Gilbert, Arizona. It's a nice area. We went there. I have my best friend from high school. He lives there now. And so we ended up moving to Arizona because of that situation. Ended up getting rid of that car. But it got to the point that I finally understood something. I understood that I wasn't living life, or I wasn't going towards the right path. Even though I was making money, I wasn't the person who I was supposed to be.
Oh man, I so resonate with what you're saying. We tend to lose ourselves when we become in that universe, right?
Right.
And that's why I for me it's as I keep climbing up and higher, I just continue to remember the life experiences that I've had to get to where I'm at today, and really appreciate these moments, because at the end of the day, I know what it's like to have so much money. Right. Where fucking I can eat. I'm eating steak and lobster so much before that shit kills you. Yep. You're living a life of excess so much. It just unhealthy. It becomes an unhealthy, toxic environment. And if we don't learn to manage and to really do good with it, it can swallow us up and take us down a rabbit hole that we may never know. We may never even get out of it. You know, and it's unfortunate, but that's again, that comes with the discipline of becoming a successful business person, and we've seen it. So, but life's a journey, man. We got to keep going. We got to keep, we just got to keep making things happen, man. So anyways, I know that we can continue and keep talking for hours and hours here, man. Really quick, I know you have are you guys still involved? Are you still involved in the business where people that want to learn about cryptocurrency or Forex and all that stuff?
So we got something better now.
Okay.
Basically, cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I want to kind of end it on that part where if people want to learn about cryptocurrency and about foreign exchange or any other type of business, how can they look you up and so forth?
There's cryptocurrency, which is great. And cryptocurrency is something that is going to continue growing.
Yeah.
But Mauricio, and this is for you guys that are watching this is going to be new. But this is like Bitcoin back in 2016.
Okay.
We're talking about data centers.
Yes.
Data centers is is going to be the biggest thing in the next few years. If you guys don't know what is data centers, we actually, I'll give you like a quick, example. Everything that we have online today, this video, Instagram, Facebook, everything, all the content that you see online goes to a cloud.
Yeah. Well, a cloud is really a data center. So, yeah.
Those clouds are created by servers. Those servers are in data centers.
That's right.
Now, think about this as real estate.
Yeah.
Right? We have the physical real estate where you can just buy houses, rent apartments, right? Mm-hmm. With data centers, you can also do a similar type of business, because in the next few years, Mauricio, with AI, with cryptocurrency, with everything.
Yeah. They're running out of space.
The demand for cloud and the demand for servers and the demand for data centers is going to shoot up. It's going to skyrocket. So basically, we're doing a thing. The company that we're working with is called Innate.
Okay. And
the service, the cloud that we have, our cloud is called CloudX.
Okay.
It's something new. I'm going to talk to you about it later.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I want you to be a part of this.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm going to Brazil. I'm actually doing a tour out there, because right now we have 3 different data centers. We have one in LA, We have one in Atlanta, Georgia, and then we just opened up one in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Nice.
The next ones that we're gonna open in South America are gonna be in Brazil.
Well, you know, I got relationships in Peru, in your country, in El Salvador,
Yeah.
and in Mexico, bro.
El Salvador,
and I got some high level political relationships, brother. We'll go visit my boy Bukele.
Mauricio, I'm telling you, look, the goal before that, I wanted to become a billionaire. Now I'm gonna become a trillionaire.
Ooh,
and
shit.
we're talking about new trends. This to me,
You know, I've been talking about trillionaire, but I'm just not there. I need to get to the billionaires club first,
Mauricio,
and then
I feel like, here's the thing. I feel so pumped lately because it's like me going back to 2016.
Yeah.
Where you actually see new trends, and then the fact that you get on those trends before they become trends, that's where the real big money's at. So, guys, if you don't know, get familiar. Data centers. If you want more information, Mauricio is going to put my IG. You can communicate with us. We'll send you the information. But here's the thing, guys. We are not just looking for everybody. We're looking for people that really want to build big and really want to take their life to the next level.
Yeah,
and are coachable.
Yeah. We can't waste any time, and we don't even need to get into the details. You guys want more information? You guys can check out on my site. We'll put a few links up there on the channel and so forth and good stuff. Quick words of inspiration, man. What would you tell either the young Ricky or the young world that's out there that's ambitious, hungry, and wants to do great things? What are your words of advice?
I'll talk to the younger generation, and I'll say this, right? Think about this. If you think you know it all, you don't know everything. So my biggest tip for you will be become a learning machine. Whenever you run into somebody who's older and you have more experience or have what you want, instead of you talk, ask them questions, learn from that person. You know, every time I run into people who are like, especially you, because after this, we're going to be talking more.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that, Mauricio. Every time I run into you, I'm always asking you questions because at the end of the day, it's like the more you know and the more you learn,
that's right,
the farther you get. So, guys,
I want to become a virtual millionaire. I already done it on paper. Now I want to become a virtual billionaire. How about that one? Let's go, man. Anyway, man, I want to thank you again for coming out today and being on the show. I really appreciate and value our friendship. Before anything else is friendship.
Likewise.
The business has always been kind of like the icing on the cake.
Yep.
You know, we've had our experiences. I'm always like you. I'm a learning machine too. Certain things I have certain capacities for, and I definitely want to learn more about that universe because I've dibbled and dabbled in it, but I really would love someone to invest in me to teach me about how to get into that virtual millionaire status because I think it would be fun, just as a fun challenge. And then, you know, as well as the people that are out there watching, if I learn something, I can go share it with the world. Yeah. The best part about life is being able to share.
Right.
The more you give, the more you share, the more blessings that come back. And that's just, it's not a secret formula or anything. It's just my experience. The more I've given to the universe, the more I've received back. And I continue to be blessed and surround myself with great people. Along the way, you'll meet some fucking clowns and characters, but the universe has a way of keeping them in and dropping them off when they need to be dropped off. So, but anyway, man, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate your time, my brother.
Thank you.
And let's keep going. So thank you again. Mauricio Mejia live inside of Studio B, heart of Silicon Valley, baby. Let's go.
Thank you to the crew, too.
Yeah, there you go, man. Thank you to our crew. Let's make it happen.
Like, comment, subscribe. Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.